Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second broadcast of the day. Welcome back to another Little Fairy Cup number 12, the first cup that's going to be here on this stream on the CranKy Ducklings. I'm, of course, your host, Live VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing two players, and this time, not by my plushies, but by ByuN and by Zoun. Here we go. This is a bit of a different broadcast here. This is a Showmatch Series. Shout out to those working behind the Fairy Cup. Of course, those working on Team Little Fairy have started to organize and host events on a more regular basis, and this is the first Fairy Cup of 2025. The very first of many, I'm sure. And of course, welcome all to a best of 7. It's going to be a best of 7 here, best of 7 show match between ByuN and Zoun. We are ready, we are excited, we are raring to go as well. We had to try to schedule and line things up in such a way that hopefully we don't cross over into the Wardy TV Monday. Ideally, we don't want the players to have to, pick and choose what to play in, that they can play in both, ideally. And again, Wardy TV Monday is going to be in 3 hours' time. Plenty of time here to conduct our best of 7. Let's go, as we have our first game. Game 1 is going to be here on Whispers of Gold, and again, we very rarely get to embrace these longer formats, these longer series. We have had a couple of best of 9s as of late, especially when it came to the finals of Masters Coliseum, but now we are jumping into our best of 7. Here we go. Spawning in the top left hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player, also from South Korea. It is Zoun. Here we go. It is a $150 prize pool of 150 USD, and the winner will take the first 100, the loser 50 USD. So thankfully, both players will walk away with something, but one more than the other. Here we go. And I'm always excited to cover and to cast some more ByuN, of course. As always, ByuN is a player that's been a little bit less active as of late, but fun fact, we actually casted a show match not too long ago, last week, if you recall, which was the CranKy Pro Series. During the CranKy Pro Series, we actually had ByuN versus Zoun. That's my apologies. If I'm not mistaken, do you need to double check that? CranKy Pro Series, because we did cover that last week as well, and it was ByuN versus Hero. That's it. I was like, I remember it was a TVP. It was ByuN versus Hero, which went all the way to the ace match, by the way. It was a crazy series, a crazy back and forth. It was a best of 9 actually, and it went all the way to 9 games. It was crazy, it was wild, it was insane. Hero did take the series barely 5-4, but honestly that really impressed me when it came to ByuN's performance. To force Hero to a best of 9, to an ace match, that was insane, that was crazy, considering that ByuN has been a little bit less active and has been a little bit more, I would say, in a bit of a slump coming into 2025. It was really telling, or it was really inspiring, or I should say I was just grateful to see ByuN return and actually look in form as well against Hero. What I should emphasize, if you missed out on the VOD of the CranKy Pro Series, I do recommend checking out the VODs on YouTube, checking out the VODs on, of course, whether it's YouTube, whether it's on Twitch as well. I do recommend the VODs just because it was a very aggressive series. Like, it was a best of 9, went all the way to 9 games. I think we macroed once. like we got a proper mid-game TVP out once in that series. It was just non-stop aggression, cheese, proxy, 2-base play, 2-base all-ins is what we expected, is what we saw, at least in Hero versus ByuN. We'll see how ByuN fares against Zoun. As we settle into this, if you're in the chat, hope you're ready, because predictions are open. Place your bets to get your gamma going for this best of 7. Best of luck in the chat as we do settle in. Behind this, we have our Take a Choice, going to be going for a Twilight Council opener out of Zoun. Meanwhile, ByuN across the map and going for an economic start here. CC already on the way on the low ground, getting to that factory follow-up. We are settling into our 1-1-1. Okay. As the command center is soon to complete, Adept gets across the map. Can we delay? Oh, we can. Just barely. A couple of seconds away from finishing up. Not bad. Zoun will delay the CC. Hellion has arrived. Will look to chase us down. Oh. Will attempt to. It means they can hold their own. No safety bunker. Second Adept arrives. Hellion going to be targeted down. Does pull away. Takes on one Adept. Barely takes on one Adept. Ooh, Hellion one shot away from going down. But last, it looks like we should trade. And the Hellion will barely survive. Adept goes down. ByuN holds. Whew. Okay. ByuN does hold. ByuN will establish his natural back across the map. As you mentioned, it's going to be a blink-based opener. And the question becomes, what is exactly going to be thrown down alongside this? We have a 2-gate blink set up here from the side of Zoun. And I would imagine 2-gate blink into a third. We go. Oh, they didn't start? Oh, my apologies. Hold on, there might be an issue. Oh, right. Sorry, hold on. I got you. Bam. There we go. Prediction should now be open. Do apologize for the delayed start. Meanwhile, the drop is going to be slipping into the main. Sorry, a little bit distracted. But at the same time, headed towards the natural as well, trying to pull Zoun apart. We'll see what he can get done. As Hellions, they do bust in. The probes are lining up. Oh my god! They do line up. Probes are going down. 5 probes so far. Going to 5, getting up to 7, up to 9. Yeah, 9 probe kills here in the main base. Marines are still wreaking havoc, still popping up. Just now forced back. Whew. Yeah, just now going to be forced back again. 9 kills, not bad whatsoever. The drop does survive. Hellions, they didn't scale well into a longer game, so a good trade here out of ByuN. And across the map, we're building up, getting to our second, soon to be third racks as well. So a very successful start here for ByuN, going for the early medevac, going for the early drop play. And again, it wasn't really the Marines that dealt damage, it was really a distraction. Just a distraction here for the Hellions to bust in. Likewise, ByuN going for his own Raven harass as well behind this. Once again, trying to pull apart Zoun. Back at home, slowly getting his tank count up and running, make sure he's ready for the counterattack. Zoun should soon be expanding, bearing in mind that his gateway count here, he has gone up to 3. 3 gates behind this, he can't counterattack. So far, again, ByuN distracting. Order turrets into the mineral line. Oh, getting a Stalker. 1 Stalker goes down, and here comes Zoun. As the Raven is going to get picked off. Raven does fall. ByuN getting 3 more probe kills. And here comes the counterattack with his 2 tanks in position. Yeah, Tank Boy's going to be going up. The Stalkers, one of them barely goes down. He goes for the warp and he commits. Yeah, it does come to the top of the tanks. He gets 1. He's going to get the second tank as well. Can he, though? Up, barely can. Takes down 2 tanks, not bad. Decent counterattack. But we need more damage. We're out of here. We need more done. Going for another warp in. Now there's no drop play or Raven harass to keep him pinned back at home. He can focus on the push. The rest of the Stalkers have arrived. And Zoun, can he break in? Oh. Once again, going for the tank. Oh, trying to at least. Yeah, blinking over here towards the low ground. Bunker is going to be targeted. The repairs are barely going to be good enough. Oh my god, it's so close. The bunker lives. Bunker does survive. Massive commitment here by Zoun. Did commit quite hard. And so far does not break through. Back across the map. Third Nexus on the way. Third Nexus on the way. Diving into the natural once again. Going for the bunker. This time it will go down. But the Bio Army is becoming terrifying here. So many Marines, Marauders. Stim is still not yet done though. And without Stim, ByuN can't really break out. He's trying, but he's being picked apart. Oh, let's get 1 Stalker. 1 Stalker does fall. Behind this, Zoun getting his 3rd. Likewise, so is ByuN. Nice snipe here on the Observer. Does notice the Observer. Zoun peeling off, headed towards the main. Oh, Stim has completed. Zoun will get away. Respecting the army. Bleeding out 1, bleeding out 2, bleeding out. Oh, almost 3. 2 Stalkers get picked off. Another Stim here out of ByuN. Ay. Dropping into the main. At the same time, here comes the drop into the main base of ByuN. They're forcing friendly fire. Charge isn't on, but oh god, the tank boys are brutal. You in the main base, more probes are falling, getting 4 probes so far. 5, 6, 7. Oh my god! He does dive in. Nice target firing, and so many workers do fall, losing almost every single probe in the main. But I say almost every single probe. GG gets called, ByuN gets out of hand, and ByuN will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played, ByuN. He will take a lead in the series against Zoun. He was doing some counter damage across the map. Unfortunately, the first drop, the first Helium Ramai, just achieved far too much damage, getting up to, what, up to 9, up to 12 workers, and then of course the final drop into the main, just sealing the deal, crippling the economy, and pulling Zoun apart. Zoun, he lost every single probe in the main. Every single worker went down. It was insane. And with that, GG. GG, well played. ByuN will take the lead in the series, but don't you worry, it is a best of 7. Best of 7, plenty more games ahead of us, plenty more games to come. I know that I was praising ByuN earlier for his performance against Hero in the CranKy Pro series, but at the same time, Zoun has also been looking very impressive. Talking about his accolades, he has recently, more consistently, been the one to bring down Clem multiple times here. It was in the most recent Alima League, if you recall, where Zoun went up against Clem in the semifinals. He was the player that knocked Clem out of the tournament, and it meant that, I mean, Hero did win Alima League because of that. Hero did defeat Zoun, but Zoun put in the hard work. He put in the hard work to make it to the finals of Alima League to defeat Clem. Clem, who I would say is the current best player in the world. So Zoun clearly showing that his PvT is in form, but is it in form today? Here and now against ByuN. That is the question. Is spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Protoss player, also from South Korea, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Zoun. First time watching SE2 since Heart of the Storm. Oh, welcome back. Hope you enjoy your time here, and it's been quite a long time. It's been years, Pappy. Oh my god. Especially depending on when in Heart of the Storm, right? Heart of the Storm, what, launched back in 2013, and Legacy was back in 2016. So it's been potentially 10 years for you. So welcome back. I hope you at least recognize some of the players, as of course, you know, ByuN, Zoun, they were around back then in Heart of the Storm as well. A lot of the players have been around for a very, very long time at this point. But here we go. ByuN once again opening up with something a little bit cheeky here. It does open up with an eBay block. Will delay the expansion of Zoun. Zoun forced to pull extra workers here to focus on the eBay, and they will eventually force a cancel. So when I start by ByuN, there's a cancel. No kill. Zoun will now expand, but it's going to be a delayed expansion out of Zoun. And ByuN back at home opening up with a CC on the high ground. So Rax expand, economic build here by ByuN. As a reminder, this CC is a little bit delayed because of the eBay block. The eBay block did, of course, delay that, but still is on the way. The first Reaper has arrived, making his way across the map. Welcome one and all to Amygdala. For those who are maybe unfamiliar, Amygdala is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Very large map. Has some unique features as well. Of course, there is the gold base so you can gain access to. You have to knock down the rocks to do so. But the gold base is very exposed here. And if we can get into a longer mid-game 3-4 base saturation, then this area can be a point of contention. Just because if you have map control, you can just lay siege and punish the gold base real fast and real quick. Likewise, the reason why this map is known for macro, I should emphasize as well, is because of all these rocks, all these rocks, all the destructible debris is in the way here, and it does kind of make it so there aren't many attack paths on this map. It's very difficult to rotate between the top and north, the north and southern bases, the top and south. It's very difficult to rotate, it's very difficult to apply pressure, to be aggressive, and as a result, it is easier to defend. So we do often see longer games. Oh, so far one probe going down. Not bad. Getting one worker so far before pulling out. Behind this, once again, is going to be a Twilight Council opener out of Zoun going into Blink. And ByuN has, I believe, seen this. Yes, he has confirmed. As Reaper is thrown away. ByuN is least aware of what's going on. Now the question becomes, how many gateways? As a reminder, last game, Zoun did open up 3 gate Blink. 3-gate blink stalker, and he was able to counterattack because of that. It was able to catch some tanks, that is true, but no major economic damage. This time we could see once again a safe build like a 3-gate blink, or we could see something greedier like 2-gate blink into a third. I wouldn't be opposed to cutting corners here on the Amygdala, again, just because of how large the map is, just because of how defendable the bases are. Would not be opposed. This time ByuN moving out with his Widowmine drop, not a Marine drop. So Widowmines are moving out. Going into Raven harass as well, as the Raven is on the way. And here comes ByuN. Now again, it's only 2 Widowmines. The goal here is not really to get economic damage done, it is to scout. To get a read on how many gateways there are. So far, 1 gateway at the natural. Zoun does react in time, losing 1 probe. And the second Widowmine slips into the main, also scouting the gateways. They'll see the 3rd gate. Oh my god. Whew, does pull away in time. Thank god. Does pull away. No major connection. But ByuN, he saw everything, both in the natural and in the main base. He saw the blink, he saw the Twilight Council, and he confirmed 3 gateways. And back at home, bunkers on the way. Again, he knows to be defensive now. Bunkers on the way. Tanks are getting in position behind the production line as well. And ByuN is securing himself. Meanwhile, Zoun should soon be expanding, as he's going to be the first to gain map control here. Again, 3-gate blink is a safe build, but does allow you to be assertive and does allow you to contain the opponent, as the Prism is on the way and Zoun should be reinforcing across the map. Now again, with this move out, Zoun shouldn't be looking to kill his opponent by any means, but he's just looking to poke in, find any stray pickoffs, and contain ByuN. And then Zoun expands. Speaking of, there's a 3rd base. Zoun is expanding. Gets across the map. Will threaten a dive into the main. And can he pick up the tank? Can he go for the mineral line? So far, going for some SCVs. Gets 1. Gets 1, gets 2 workers so far. Picks up, gets out of here. Oh, the prison, though, it's going to be locked down. Oh my god, it looks like it barely will escape. Whew, took a lot of hull damage, but does get away. And so far, 2 SCVs. Remember, 2 SCVs went down. Again, no major damage. We don't really intend to get major damage. It's all about poking in. It's all about containing. And thankfully, the War Prism did not fall. That would have been disastrous for Zoun. Back at home, getting his 3rd up and running, and working towards a more gateway-heavy composition. Charge on the way, alongside a Bay, working towards Colossus, working towards splash damage. Not Storm. ByuN is going to break out. Stim is finishing up in a couple of seconds. ByuN, he will move out across the map. Autotar's going to be distracted, or distracting. And ByuN, he does move out across the map. He is spotted. It's going to be on Zoun to try to slow down this push. Again, his 3rd base is that much more exposed. It's down on low ground. Does pick off 2 Marines. 2 Marines get picked off. ByuN, he sims in. He wants that 3rd base. Tanks, they do siege up, they're within range of the pylon of the army. Yeah, and the base is going to be forfeit. Zoun, he's trying to push in, but he needs more time. Immortals all the way. Charge still finishing up. Dives on the tanks. He gets 1. Takes down 1. Takes down 2 tanks, but at a cost, losing almost every single Stalker. Oh my god, only 3 Stalkers who survive. And ByuN still has a massive, terrifying bio army here. Stimming in. Takes down the Immortal. Oh, at least looks to. Catching out the Stalkers. And Zoun, he will barely hold on. Not bad. Whew. Zoun, he barely does survive. The downside, though, he lost 14 Stalkers. Oh my god. A brutal trade there for Zoun. Doesn't sound... I mean, again, he survives. He holds on to the 3rd base, but Stalkers, especially in this matchup, you have to build them up every time. You have to build them up every time. They need to survive. They need to persist. And Zoun lost too much. And ByuN, he's not stopping. He's not slowing down. He's getting ready for the 2nd wave. The 2nd wave of reinforcements. And Zoun, he has a shield battery. True, he has 1 Immortal. The Colossus is on the way. But Zoun needs more time. And ByuN, he's not going to give it to him. He sims in. This time he does catch the Immortal. GG gets called. And ByuN will snowball out of control, taking a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. will take a lead in the series. Again, very decisive play out of ByuN. Unfortunately, Zoun, he just wasn't able to slow down the push as it was moving out across the map. By the time ByuN had rocked up, it was a brutal decision to dive on top of those tanks. As we mentioned, 14 Stalkers. 14 Stalkers went down in the lead up to that final engagement. Sure, he got both tanks, but it was too much of a loss. It was too much of a loss there. Likewise, I was surprised to see Zoun expand on the low ground as well. It's a much more difficult base to defend, a much more difficult base to hold on to. And alas, with that, ByuN does take a 2-0 lead. A pretty hefty lead so far, and now I'm getting concerned. Now I'm getting a little bit concerned here for Zoun, as it is the best of 7, so there are more games ahead of us, but yeah, the pressure is on. The pressure is on, and Zoun, he has to start fighting back here and now to make a series out of this, otherwise things are about to get dire. Oh boy. As we're getting ready for game number 3, and I'm a little bit surprised, I'm a little bit in shock. I'll be honest, it's been a week? It's been maybe even more than a week since I've casted on this map. We're going to be loading into Neon Violet Square, one of the most vetoed maps in the map pool, if not the most vetoed map in the map pool. A map we rarely get to see, but here in the best of 7, there are less vetoes, so we can embrace one of the more unorthodox maps like this one. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 2-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Red Protoss player from South Korea, down heavily here in this series. He has to fight back here and now, otherwise things are gonna get dire. It is Zoun. We go. And so far this series has been very similar to the Hero series. I was alluding to it earlier, and again, if you missed it, I do recommend the VODs of ByuN versus Hero in a best of 9. Similarly, just like what's happening here, we haven't really been able to embrace the mid game. We haven't seen like 3 base versus 3 base or 4 base versus 4 base, like mid to late game. That hasn't happened. It's been very aggressive, very decisive play, mainly from ByuN, to be fair, in this series. It's been mainly from ByuN. In the ByuN versus Hero series, it was back and forth from both players, but we weren't really able to embrace any longer game states. Not yet. But I bring that up because now we're loading into Neon Violet Square, and this is the largest map in the map pool. It's huge, it's massive, a lot of bases to be taken, very defendable as well. If we were to embrace a longer game, it would be here. It would be on Neon Violet Square. And fun fact, actually the last time we casted this map was, I believe, during that best of 9. As did go to game 9 and there were no vetoes, of course. Here we go. As ByuN is going to be opening up Racks Expand, economic builds here out of ByuN. Likewise, Zoun opening up Gate Cyber Nexus as well. So standard opener out of Zoun, economic opener out of ByuN. And it makes sense. Again, just to reiterate, this is the largest map of the map pool, longest rush distance by ground. So it makes sense here to open up economically and to cut corners. Now, we have seen ByuN, especially in the last map pool on maps like Side Delta, go for a 3rd CC before Factory and go 3 CC into 2nd racks, into 3rd racks. It's been a while since we've seen ByuN embrace that style, but he has it in him, especially on greedier maps, and it looks like he is getting ready for that 3rd CC. This time even greedier on location. Let's go. So again, it's going to be 3 CC, 3 racks out of ByuN. As we alluded to, he used to do this back on Side Delta. He's doing it here on Neon Violet Square, but even greedier by going on location. But you can do so because you have a free pocket base. The base is free, it's just here tucked away. There's no way to really punish it. So ByuN is being as greedy as possible. He's being greedy. Behind this, speaking of greed, it's going to be a Stargate opener instead, not a Twilight Council. Now, the reason why this is more viable on a larger map, Stargate play is considered to be unsafe in the current meta. It is considered unsafe, it is considered risky in the current era of SC2, but on a larger map like this, you're safer to do so. Now, what you're vulnerable to typically when you open up Stargate is you're vulnerable to early game aggression, to like a tank drop, to early Cyclone pushes with like Viking support. If a Terran player realizes you're going Stargate early enough, they can just commit to a push and they can just kill you then and there. The reason for this is because Phoenixes, in low numbers in the early game, they struggle to defend. They can lift like a Marine at a time, they can lift like one tank at a time, but there's typically a lot of like bio anti-air support underneath it. It's just very difficult to defend early on. As the game progresses, you get more Phoenixes and you get more control, right? You get more map control, you become more stable, and you can progress. So we're vulnerable early on, but as we can see, ByuN is opening up very greedily. Zoun is safe to do so, and again, he could assume to do so, or he could assume he would be safe here on Neon Violet Square. So Phoenixes are amassing. From here, he will gain map control, and Zoun can try to get some economic damage and try to threaten the mineral lines. Meanwhile, ByuN is amassing those Marines. As we mentioned, 3 CC into 3 racks. ByuN is going to be... Oh, my apologies. I assumed... Oh, no, wait, no, it is. Okay. I saw the factory. You have 3 racks into factory into starport. ByuN is going to be stuck at home until he gets his medevacs. And until then, we're just going to be embracing a longer game state. Zoun also taking a third. Zoun is taking a third base. So I'm asking in chat, is it best of 5 maps? This is a best of 7. Best of 7, what does that mean? That means first to 4. It means first to 4 wins will claim the series. First to 5 wins is a best of 9. Here we go. As Zoun does move out. Threading the bases, diving in, getting one SCV. Gets an SCV, gets a Marine. So far, efficient pickups here by Zoun. Nothing major, but efficient nonetheless. And again, the goal here is for Zoun to just contain ByuN for as long as possible while he expands, gets a third base, and takes up into splash damage. Well, catching out 2 Marines, not bad. 2 Marines go down, getting another SCV. And the turrets are not ready. More SCVs are under fire. Our last Phoenixes don't have the most energy. We've got 3 SCVs getting picked off. Getting a mule as well. Not bad. And you can see here just the maneuverability, the power of Phoenix base play. ByuN's had enough. He's going for a counterattack. Ooh. And I believe Zoun did miss the move out. He did not see the army. ByuN is going to be committing. Back at home, what do we have? We have some Adepts. We have a Sentry for Force Fields. We have an Immortal Shield Battery as well. And Overcharge. And the army gets spotted. And Zanny knows. Does spot the army. ByuN getting a 4th CC on location. Very greedy here out of ByuN. And Zoun, does he notice? So far, he has not. He could delay this. He could punish. But he has no idea. ByuN commits. Phoenix is trying to catch reinforcements. Such a risky move here out of ByuN, but he will get away with it. And again, this shows us that he does not intend to commit here, just to poke in, to trade, distract Zoun, and get away with a very fast 4th. Insanely fast 4th. Oh. Yes, observer. Scans main army. ByuN backs up. Zoun poking in. And again, Zoun is just being kept distracted. It is just distracted here. 4th base getting up and running. Turrets on the way. And I'm becoming that much more concerned here for Zoun. As ByuN is building up, cutting a lot of corners. And Ghost Academy's on the way. Into Ghost production. Likewise, Zoun is working towards Colossus with his Bay. And even though he did some okay damage early on with the Phoenixes, I do feel like we did miss the mark here when it comes to getting even more. As typically in this matchup, the Protoss wants to be up a base. They want to be up an expansion. Right now, ByuN is up a base, which is insane. So ByuN is going to be the first to max out. He has a booming economy. Observer does spot the army. Once again, Zoun distracted by the main army of ByuN. Ooh, we'll get a medevac. Not bad. We'll catch a medevac. More reinforcements are revealed. ByuN looking for the observer. Doesn't quite find one. And again, ByuN just posturing. Remember, he took a fast fourth. It's all about getting this fourth base fully operational. And then he can snowball out of control and max out. Now, pushing into these bases is not easy. As we kind of mentioned before, this map is large, true, but also very defendable. You can see here a very narrow ramp coming into the natural, so pushing up this ramp is not going to be possible here for ByuN, unless he does catch down out of position. Likewise, here towards the top side, this space is a little bit more exposed. Like, it is a little bit more wide open, that is true, but because the attack points are there aren't very many of them, like just the possibilities are very few here, it is easier for Zoun to rotate between this ramp and this northern location. Like, his main is safe, his pocket base is safe. So relatively simple to traverse back and forth. Scan reveals the army, reveals the natural. 5th CC on location. Oh. ByuN, he will threaten a dive. ByuN now getting a second starport for Massive Viking, eventually into Liberator production. Observer goes down. Both players are maxing. And the Zealot runway does get into the mineral line. Not bad. 7 SCVs going down. No bunker in position. No sensor tower either. Yeah, ByuN caught off guard. He's going to be caught off guard. Zoun breaks out. Engagement with the army. Not bad. Lifting up some of those marauders. Zealots, they do get a lot done here. And behind this, there's no wooden mines, there's no tanks either. We get some decent EMPs. Zoun, ooh, EMP does miss. Zoun pulling away, doesn't commit. Just trading out Zealots, replacing them with Disruptors. Second Robo's on the way. I will say that the second Robo was late. It's a bit of a late second Robo here for Zoun. But he does need those Disruptors. Needs as much splash damage as possible. ByuN is rotating. There's a recall. Ooh, does recall in time. Yeah, Colossus are ready. Nice EMP. We're setting up with the surround though, and ByuN, he has to get the hell out of here. Not like this. We're coming from behind. We're coming from the front. Force to pick up. Force to lift off. Whew. And Zoun with a much better engage. Forces back ByuN. ByuN plummeting in supply. Ooh, losing another medevac. And ByuN has to get the hell out of here. He has to pull out. Does have to retreat. Brutal position, getting surrounded of all things. And momentum is on Zoun's side. Being chased him down. Didn't even need Disruptors. They're still on the way. Disruptors are still in production. War Prism as well, as Zoun cannot reinforce across the map. But he did leave, or he did keep both Colossus alive. As ByuN is getting a sick. Zoun motivating out. Knocking down that depot. Right, ByuN getting in position, pulling the boys. Boys are being pulled, they're stuck behind the army. Yeah, the SCVs, they just get annihilated. Colossus goes down, but that's 23 SCV kills. Ooh, decent over as well, catching out 3 Marauders. 3 Marauders going down. DTs, they do pile into the bases. They split off, 1 for the natural, 1 for the main, 1 for the pocket. There are turrets. There are turrets in position, but more damage is being done. More SCVs are going down. And ByuN is being pulled apart. Yeah, DTs are popping off and Zoun is pushing in. ByuN is ready. It's in position. Is in position, army diving in. Again, 41 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. And shows it over. Never gets off. Ooh, massive connection. Yeah, ByuN was up against the wall. Nowhere to run. And we still have 3 more Novas left as the CC goes down. And we are going to be making a series out of this. ByuN, he may have taken a lead, but GG gets called. And Zoun, he will fight back. He will put a point on the board. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. ByuN honestly cutting a lot of corners that game, and he was getting away with it. He was getting away with it. He was building up. He was maxing out. Unfortunately, just a really brutal first fight. That first engagement just almost sealed the deal, or I should say, it gave a lot of momentum to Zoun, and Zoun took full advantage of that. I'm referring to the surround. With ByuN pushing towards the expansion, we had the recall out of Zoun, and he got a full surround on the army. That was brutal, and from there, Zoun just sent it across the map. He did not give ByuN time to recover. GG. GG, well played. We do have a back and forth, and Zoun, he begins the comeback. Can he continue it, though? Can we keep things going? As we're getting ready here for game number 4. Up next, it looks like we're going to be loading into another unorthodox map here. Oh boy, we're going to be loading into El Dorado. We go from the largest map of the map pool to one of the smaller maps of the map pool. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of El Dorado, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 2-1. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player fighting back, putting a point on the board. And can he type the series 2-2? It is Zoun. We go. And welcome one and all to El Dorado. Again, a much smaller map of the map pool. Very short rush distance by air as well. Bear that in mind. From base to base, very short rush distance. And likewise, can also be short by ground as well if we mine through these minerals. These are one of the big features here of El Dorado, of course, is the gold bases, the gold mineral wall, the gold bases as well here in the center of the map, and also the direct center base as well, also another gold. So our players, they have the option. They have the option to mine through these patches and expand towards their opponent, or to expand away instead. I mean, typically ByuN is more of an aggressive player, so I think we all expect him to expand towards Zoun, but we'll keep an eye on him as Zoun, he's scouting for a proxy. Do not blame him. ByuN, he is known to cheese, he's known to be hyper aggressive. I mean, of course, last game we saw mainly greed out of ByuN. But he does have that reputation of being in the face of his opponent. So Zoun just double checking, being safe, opening up Zealot into Cybercore, into Nexus. Now the initial Zealot is an interesting one. It tells us that Zoun may just choose to rally across the map to try and delay the CC. ByuN going for an economic over himself, delaying a second gas geyser, going for a much faster command center on the low ground. So economic build here out of ByuN, going for the Reaper first, is going to be scanning. Likewise, as Zoun check for the third base, check for a proxy, so does ByuN. ByuN also checks just in case. Now moving out. Does move out across the map. It was natural, sentry to defend. Alas, will dip in, will dip out. No major damage yet. Likewise, hallucination here from Zoun, and this I was not expecting, a little bit old school. Zoun, he will scout. That was a second Rax, and it looks like we're going for a 3 Rax, which again is very old school. It's very out of meta. This, of course, was very prevalent a couple of years ago, especially back in 2020, 2021. We would see non-stop 3 Raxes. And I'm making the assumption we're going to be seeing another Rax as well. Ooh. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. It's going to be a 2 Rax opener into a 3rd CC. Now, this is not as greedy as last game. Remember, on Neon Violet Square, ByuN, he did open up with a Rax into a 3rd CC before into a 3rd CC and then into 3 Rax. This is a little bit different. This is a little bit later, but still very greedy by ByuN. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised, especially on a smaller map. Zoun pushing in, gaining air control, or high ground vision, I should say. Taking some hits, but the first couple of Marines are going to be going down. And remember, we only have pure vanilla Marines to defend. Just purely Marine. Sentry does fall. Up. Ooh, Stalker as well. A bit of miscontrol there out of Zoun. Does clean up the army, but this could have been a little bit cleaner. Could have been a cleaner push. Hallucination does confirm that the third base is soon to be taken. Diving into the main, gets eyes on the second racks. And he's looking for the third racks as well. He's looking and he finds the third CC. Oh boy. And Zoun, he has to make a choice. 2 gates. 3. Oh, we can't be Let's go. So I believe this was going to be a 3-gate blink build. He throws down a 4th gateway reactively. He saw the greed. He saw the third CC. He knows that ByuN is cutting corner. He's crazy. Oh, he's not just going for a third CC. He's getting a 4th. Mate, oh, ByuN getting a 4th CC, a ninja base here towards the top right. Insane greed out of ByuN. ByuN, he barely has an army. Stim is on the way. Factory is still on the way. And the problem here is that Zoun, he doesn't know about the base, but he doesn't need to. He already saw the third CC, so he's already being aggressive. He's already pushing. Remember, 4-gate blink is a very aggressive build. His goal here is to push in, to break his opponents, and this is going to be a tough defense without tanks. It is going to be a tough hold here for ByuN. Stalker's moving out. More reinforcements on the way. I mean, I would have expected this kind of build on Neon Violet Square, not on El Dorado. Like, that's... Oh my god. Zoun is pushing forward. Poking in, gets a Marine, gets 1, gets 2, and yeah, GG. GG gets... There's nothing to defend. There's no bunker, there's no tank, there's no factory, there's nothing, just pure greed out of ByuN. GG gets called, and Zoun ties up the series at 2-2. Whew, GG. ByuN doing an illegal amount of greed. Now, what I will say, again, my thought process as to going for a 4th CC on El Dorado is mainly that I'm sure ByuN was hoping that he could just get away with it, just hope to not get scouted. Unfortunately, the hallucination, out of all things, wasn't even a hallucinated Phoenix. It was a hallucinated Colossus as well, by the way, which got into the main base, saw the third CC. Upon Zoun seeing that, I feel like ByuN should have respected that. Instead, he took an even greater chance, even greater risk. GG. GG well played. In a way, kind of like a build order loss, like ByuN just cutting as many corners as possible. And with that, Zoun fights back. Now we have a back and forth. Now we have a tied up series. And now we're getting into ley lines here for our next game to determine who will take a lead in the series. Let's go. Let us go. Hello, today's player names seem like Koreans. Yes, that because they are, because we do cast Koreans on a regular basis. There you go. so, can confirm. But here we go, we're getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion, being forced into a tied series. We'll see if he can fight back and take a lead. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, tying up the series, floating his way back into this. It is Zoun. Here we go. Shout out to Psycho, by the way, who is the admin. He's the admin of the event, and I believe he is one of the organizers or even admin for Team Little Fairy. Just to reiterate the event itself, welcome to the Fairy Cup, and it is of course run by Team Little Fairy. That have been hosting these events on a semi-regular basis. They've held them a couple of times throughout 2024, and this is the first edition of the event on 2025. As ByuN does open up with an eBay block. So eBay block here out of ByuN will be delaying the expansion. We'll be slowing Zoun down. Here we go. So ByuN disrupting the economy. This time, because of the eBay block, he will not be going for the CC. He's going to be going for a factory follow-up instead. Interesting. So a little bit more aggressive here out of ByuN. Going for the faster factory, going for a delayed command center. Ooh, and we see why. Hello! The SCV's out on the map, and this screams proxy starport. We're waiting for the factory. Once the factory is done, starport can be thrown down, and the goal here should be to go for an add-on swap to get the reactor on the factory, not on the racks, to reactor out Hellions and to go for a Hellion drop into the main. As the factory is almost done, and our eyes are on the SCV. So wait, there it is. Starport has been thrown down, and ByuN, he's going for the drop. Now, technically, there is a niche build where we go for Hellion and a proxy Liberator, and instead you go for the Liberator into the main base, and you have the Hellions poke into the natural, and you try to pull apart the attention of the Protoss player. But a more standard build here is just a medevac. It's just a medevac into drop play into the main. Now, if you want to know the math, it takes 3 Hellions to one-shot a probe, and because of the splash damage of Hellions, if the probes line up, then very quickly things can escalate out of control. Adept forces a recall. The Adept does not scout what's going on. Now, Zoun did see the delayed CC, so he knows it was a faster factory. As a result, shield batteries on the way, and he's walling up. He's walling up, which would be good against a standard build, against a typical build, but as we can see, Proxy will be avoiding this wall and going straight for the main. And here they come. Hellions, they rally across. Starport is done, medevac is almost complete, and we're head for the main base, and we'll see how much damage ByuN can get done. See, we'll boost in. Does boost. Does head for the mineral line. Meanwhile, going to be a Stargate open into Phoenix. The Hellions, they will go for the dive. Probe's going to be going down. He gets one so far. Boys are being pulled. 3 probe kills. Some of them are lining up. And one more volley. The last Hellion does break out of that lift. And he's going to get 7, up to 8, up to 9. Up, what a bus. Does get 9. 9 probes going down. Not a bad trade here for ByuN. I'm sure he was hoping for a little bit more damage, but 9 probes for 4 Hellions and a medevac. Not the worst trade, as ByuN does take an economic lead. He is even on SCVs. He has mules, of course, behind this, and he's working towards his 2-1-1. Remember, this was not designed to kill his opponent, it was designed to maim him. And so far, it has. But here comes the counterattack. The question becomes, can ByuN survive? Can he maintain himself in this counterattack? So far, no bunker. No bunker on the low ground. Pieces they dip in. Cyclones on the way. It's going to be a 3-1-1 setup. As the starport is floating back home. Phoenix force back. Army pushing in. Shaving off the Marines. Boys are being pulled. SCVs are going to be going down, and ByuN is in trouble. Yeah, again, this counterattack is hitting so hard. The Cyclone is going to fall. And so are the SCVs. Yeah, just some brutal damage here. I mean, I say that, I assumed more SCVs were going to be falling. Only 3. Not bad. Only 3 SCVs, now getting a 4th. This could have been so much worse. And ByuN holds. ByuN does hold. Zoun, again, he committed quite hard there. He was hoping for, 10 SCV kills. Alas, did not get it. And the game will continue. We'll continue from here. Zoun getting a 3rd. And again, the goal for these Phoenixes should be to contain. To contain the Terran player onto 2 bases. And delay the 3rd for as long as possible. As ByuN, he's working towards Stim. Building up his tank count. Phoenixes, they rotate, they get 1, they get 2 more SCVs. Getting up to 3. Nice damage. Nice damage so far, getting 3 SCV kills. More Phoenixes building up. And now transitioning into the Forge, into the Twilight Council, into most likely Charge. Should be going for a charged out composition behind this. Immortals are building up. Ooh, and ByuN is getting ready for his push. Now, I would have assumed he would break out and expand, but I don't see a 3rd CC yet. Yeah, there's no third base. We pull the boys. We're committing. We're committing here into a 2-base all-in. Some of the boys are being pulled to help repair. To repair the tanks and to throw down bunkers. The push is spotted. And Zoun, he's trying to pick this off. Or pick off whatever he can. So far, unable to. Too many Marines. Stim is done in 10 seconds. Zoun, he has the high ground. He has force fields. Oh. Slowing down the push. Turrets are on the way. Yeah, throwing down even more turrets. Slowly encroaching on the third. And Zoun needs more time for charge. He's not ready. Oh, bleeding out one Phoenix. Brutal pickup. One piece goes down. Massive tank shots going off as well. Oh, and things are looking bleak here for Zoun. Again, without charge, he just cannot engage, and he gives up on the base. Yeah, the third is going to fall. And ByuN, he can just keep pushing from here. And Nexus goes down. Forcing way forward. Finally, charge does complete, but the damage has been done. Phoenix is trying to catch reinforcements, picking up some Vikings. Oh, some of the tanks are unsieged. Not bad. Getting 1, 2, 3, getting all 4 tanks. Massive pickups. Oh my god, no, he doesn't get it. Barely doesn't get the final tank. Barely not. Despite that, we'll lose only 1 immortal, and he can clean this up. He should be able to commit. Going for the final tank. And GG gets called. ByuN, he was all in. Doesn't kill his opponent. Breaks the third, but not the natural. And Zoun, he will take a lead in the series. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Zoun will take the lead in the series. Very patient play. Very patient play out of Zoun. Again, Zoun, he could not fight. He could not engage. He could not fight. He could not dive without charge. So he just backed off. He gave up on the base. Gave up on the third. Saved the workers. Catching reinforcements across the map, of course. And he was so patient waiting for charge. Once it finished, he was able to dive in and clean up. Not just that, though. If you remember, Zoun also got a little bit fortunate, or just a really well-timed attack. And if you notice, but when Zoun pushed in, when he collapsed on the army, the tanks were unsieged. Only 2 tanks were sieged, the other 3 were unsieged. They were just in the middle of sieging up. So ByuN, he was caught with his pants down. He was caught trying to push forward, and with that, Zoun did punish him. And suddenly Zoun takes a lead in the series, winning 3 games in a row. And now suddenly Zoun is on match point. 1 more win, 1 more game is all Zoun needs to win the series. Oh boy, the pressure's on. The pressure is on ByuN. Let's jump into game number 6. We're jumping into game 6 here. And the pressure is now on our Terran player to force the ace match. We'll see if he can. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. Again, he's up against the wall. He has to fight back here and now to force that game 7. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player. Ooh, we have the red Protoss. 1 game away from claiming the win here and claiming the series. It is Zoun. Here we go. And personally, I'm hoping for an ace match. Regardless of how this goes, I want to see a game 7. But the pressure is on. This time there is no eBay block, no shenanigans, no proxy either. We're actually just back at home. We're settling in. Okay. Likewise, Zoun also checking the natural. Making sure there's no shenanigans, making sure there's no eBay. And welcome one and all to Ultra Love. Ultra Love being one of the other smaller maps in the map pool, but there is a ramp coming into the natural, so this does allow the natural base to be much more defendable, much more fortifiable. Can be very difficult to break a 2-basing player. Likewise, the third is also quite secure as well. There are some narrow choke points coming into the 3rd and 4th base. You can knock down these towers to wall off this location. So much more defendable. And ByuN is going for an economic opener. Single gas geyser into a faster expansion. So economic start by ByuN. so far we are just settling in. Now, I do not expect Zoun to open up Stargate here. We saw Stargate open up on ley lines, which I felt was very risky. Likewise, we saw ByuN, committing to an all-in in the aftermath of that as well, hoping to try to catch Zoun off guard. But I would imagine either a Robo or a Twilight Council opener here instead. Something more secure, something more safe, something more standard. As Zoun moves out with a hallucination. Does move out, does confirm the economic build. And from here, we'll confirm the 111. Racks into factory into starport. So we do have a standard setup here at a ByuN. No crazy greed like we saw previously. No crazy aggression either. Setting up for what looks to be a mine drop. So Widow Mines into medevac into drop play. Meanwhile, I didn't expect Zoun to go Stargate, but that's what we're getting here. Stargate opener once again out of Zoun. As I mentioned before in the series, I do think it's safer to do this on larger maps. When I say larger map, I'm thinking of Neon Violet Square, Abyssal Reef, King's Cove. It is a lot more viable, a lot more safer. It is, I would say, a little bit riskier to go for this on a map like Ultra Love or Ley Lines as well. Did get away with it on Ley Lines though, to be fair. Did get away with it. Let's see if we can do it again. As Widow Mines trying to be, or at least the hallucination trying to bait at the mine shots. And here come the Widow Mines. ByuN here will boost across the map. Ooh, committing a little bit harder this time, going for a triple Widow Mine drop. Not double. He is making his way across the map. Behind this, throwing down extra racks, getting to a 3-1-1 setup. And back at home, Phoenixes have been amassing. And again, Zoun, he already scouted the build. He scouted the Widow Mines. He knows what's coming his way. He's in position. ByuN does boost in. And what can he get done? Does unload all three of the Widow Mines, actually. They get lifted, they get shut down. One of them does burrow. Ooh, going up here on the Phoenix. But the friendly fire, the drag. Another mine shot goes off, takes down 2 probes. But is cleaned up. I would say a better trade here for Zoun. Losing 2 probes for 3 Widow Mines and a medevac. Zoun does shut this down, but at least ByuN scouted. That's one of the main purposes of a Widow Mine drop, is to scout and to figure out what's going on. Is now aware of the Stargate. Is aware. From here, ByuN is going to be contained. Phoenix is a dip in. Dip in. Meanwhile, Marines are going to get picked up one after the other. There's no bunker. Uh-oh. Yeah, no buggers to defend. Zoun pushing in. Cyclone has arrived. Decent chunk of Marines. Marines are set. Zoun shading into the main. Doesn't quite find a way in. Does pick up at least 1 unit there in the main base. Still bleeding out of Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix for a Marauder. Not the best trade from Zoun. And ByuN holds. Whew. Thankfully. ByuN does hold. Back at home, getting a 3rd. Building up a greater army. And from here is taking. Taking up into Safety Immortals. Gateways, charge as well. Once again, just like the last game, Zoun needs a little bit more time to get into charge. Meanwhile, ByuN going for a very early push. Stim is not done. Does go for an early move out. As he moves out, gets a 3rd base on location. Quite greedy here by ByuN, but because of the move out, he's keeping these Phoenixes busy. He's keeping them busy. A couple of probes do get picked up. ByuN being active. As the upgrades do finally complete. Upgrades are done. ByuN can be pushing. Oh! Zoning with the Phoenixes. Does send them away. Charge is still not done, by the way. And he sims in. ByuN threatening a dive. Containing his opponent. Doesn't have to commit. Remember, behind this, he's expanding. Like, ByuN is taking his own third. Doesn't have to commit. Depowers the gateway. Going for the Cybercore. Cybercore goes down as well. Nice pickup. Catching out a tech structure. Plus one is now done. ByuN, he does protect the army. He does pull away. Kiting well. Takes down the Zealous. Takes down the Phoenixes. Yeah, brutal dive there from Zoun. He gets punished. Two Phoenixes are going to be falling. Forcing back the ByuN. And ByuN getting a little bit greedy here. He does dive on top of the Immortal. Yeah, Immortal goes down. He gets one. He gets two. He does catch the entire army. And Zoun, he overextends. It's not the fight to take. Again, Zoun, he had no reason here. He just had to back up, just hold on to his bases. ByuN wasn't even committed, but no, a better fight for ByuN. He overwhelms, and now Zoun's in trouble. His Phoenix count was reset. Has no splash damage. The Mind Shot's going to be going up. One shot connects. Zoun barely holding on. Forcing back ByuN. Small rewinds, they do rally in. And ByuN, it cleans up all the Zealots. Doesn't have much to work with, but it might still be enough. But now pulling away. Does pull back. Enjoying his third, getting fully saturated. Armory's on the way for 2-2. Ghost Academy as well. ByuN, he's taking up. Getting a second eBay. And Zoun does survive, but it was a costly hold here for Zoun. Or again, just the decision to engage here out on the map wasn't necessary. And he lost how many? He lost 3 pieces. 3 pieces, lost 2 Immortals as well. I mean, that's the biggest blow, right? As the Immortal count was reset. Just now going for the Bay, working towards splash damage. ByuN moving in. Nice lips here on the Widow Mines. The Mind Shots, they don't go off. Not a bad fight out of Zoun. But he's running out of Zealots. They're running out of Zealots. He has to back up. Phoenix, they engage, losing and bleeding out another Phoenix. And still a better trade here for ByuN. He kited well. Now this time Zoun does at least preserve the Immortals. He's just buying time for the Colossus. Colossus on the way. But Zoun, he's under a lot of pressure here. These Phoenixes, their goal is to buy time and to force the army back home. But ByuN, he does turn around. Does turn around, and he will catch almost the Phoenixes. Almost does catch them. Zoun does pivot away. ByuN moving in. He's up 30 supply, getting a 4th CC on location. Likewise, so is Zoun. And I believe the first Colossus has now arrived. Whew. And is enough to survive. Forcing back ByuN. Mind just going up. Good connection here on these Zealots. Yeah, Zealots, they go down in an instant. Massive EMP. Yeah, lands EMP. Diving on the Colossus. There is a shield battery. Colossus barely holding on, but where's the support? It's not here. Yeah, Zoun just has nothing else left here behind this. GG gets called, and ByuN will tie the series 3-3. Whew, we are going to the ace match. Let's go. Oh my god. GG, well played. Again, just a really rough engagement there for Zoun as he was chasing down the army, maybe assuming that he had enough, of course, to engage. We saw him bleed out almost everything though. 3 Phoenixes, 2 Immortals, most of the Zealots. It was just a really rough fight there for Zoun. And again, as a reminder, ByuN wasn't even committed. He was not all in. He was getting a 3rd CC behind this. ByuN had no intention to take that fight. But, I mean, it came to him, so he went for it. And he traded so well there. And Zoun just overextending, and with that, ByuN takes the better fight, the greater fight, the better trade, and with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. And again, this series is reminding me a lot of the Hero series, just because, just like the Hero series, we haven't really gotten any macro games so far. I mean, Neo Violet Square kind of counts, I guess. Like, we maxed out, true. Like, we had 200 supply armies, so we did max out, but at the same time, it all did end in one fight, right? Like, like Neo Violet Square ended very abruptly, like in one big engagement, and then it all just snowballed out of control. We haven't had that more like kind of slower back and forth, but that's really not how our players approach this. Not how they... It's not how they approach the matchup. They're very much so in each other's face, and here we go. We're getting into the final game of the series. We're getting to the final game, getting to the ace match, and here we go. Spawning in the right-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss. It is Zoun. Here we go. And I like how... Oh, man, let's go. I was about to say, I like how we intentionally scheduled this just so we would have plenty of time to get into, like, Wardy TV Monday to make sure that, like, there was no conflicting schedules or anything like that. It's been a pretty fast series. We're coming up on an hour and a half, and we're here in the ace match, and this might be a short one here as ByuN does open up with the proxy. Zoun coming in, no shot. Up, he scouts, he sees, he knows, he does find the proxy, will come across it, will delay, and just a really rough position. Ah, the TT. I know, ByuN. The TTs are real here as the probe has arrived to tase away at the workers. Just a rough position here as a second probe has arrived as well to make sure that these ranks do not complete. The first one will finish. The first one will complete. And the second is going to be heavily delayed here. Might even just be forced to cancel. Reproduction has begun. Ah. Ah, no. I like to believe ByuN's like, regame? Oh, no. Yes, there's a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. And from here, ByuN forces transition. CC on the high ground. ByuN is trying to work his way out of this. Doing what he can. But this is a very disrupted start for ByuN. I wouldn't say this is over, but he is behind. Like ByuN, he is in a bit of a rougher position here. Now getting his own factory. Reaper dips in. Zelt's in position. As ByuN does pull out. Does pull away. Does bring it back home. Up. And we'll see how Zoun will approach this. Now, I didn't even get to introduce the map. Welcome. Welcome one and all to Frostline, to one of the larger maps in the map pool. If Zoun were to open up Stargate, it would make a lot of sense, but ooh, actually a bit of a safer response. I mean, it's the ace match, right? We're loading into the ace match here, so Twilight counts opener instead out of Zoun. He knows that he is ahead. He knows that he is relatively safe, so just gotta secure himself. Going into Blink instead. And this will give Zoun a lot of aggressive opportunities as well. He can opt to go 2-gate Blink, 3-gate, or up to 4 gateways as well. We'll keep an eye on the gateway counts. Behind this, ByuN setting up a second Rax, and ByuN may throw in a third Rax as well. Now, if we see a third Rax out of ByuN before the starport, then this should be a 2-base all-in. And that would make a lot of sense considering that ByuN had a disrupted proxy. And yep, there it is. Third Rax. So this is a 3 Rax setup before starport. Basically what's happening here is that ByuN, he's going to be prioritizing Stim. He's going to be prioritizing add-ons into Stim, into Combat Shields, rushing into those upgrades faster than normal, and then he might just pull the boys. Oh my, that is a 4th Rax. Jesus. I assumed it was just going to be a 3-1-1. We're getting up to a 4th Rax as well. This screams 2-base all-in. And if Zoun isn't too careful, if Zoun doesn't scout, if he doesn't realize what's going on, if he cuts too many corners, if Zoun is too greedy, then Zoun could just fumble and could be overwhelmed. Now, for now, we have 2 gateways on low ground, 2 gateways at the natural. We have 1 gateway in the main. It's going to be 3-gate Blink out of Zoun. I would say very safe play. And here comes that hallucination. And again, Zoun, he has to figure out what's going on. Oh, thank you so much for the translations. 감사합니다. 감사합니다, papi. Thank you so much. You don't like draw? ByuN, he's always cheeky. Always cheeky. He did the same thing with Hero, actually. If he'd get, like, proxy like that. No, sorry. He did the same thing with Dark. We casted, I think it was in KSL. We casted a series between ByuN and Dark. Where he'd be like, oh, God, do you want to regame Dark, baby? Do you want to... Dark would just laugh, and here we go. Here comes the 2-base solo, and the boys are being pulled. Oh, the tanks are going to be slowed down, though. As a reminder, Stim is still not yet done. Still seconds away. And it's so important here that Zoun slows down the push. He slows down the move out. Picks up a Marine, gets an SCV, gets another Marine as well. Ideally, he wants to pick up a tank. That would be ideal. That would be amazing. As he's slowing this down. Up! Up! Ooh, barely gets a tank. Massive pick off. Tank goes down. 2 tanks left. ByuN does commit. Zoun reinforcing, and things are looking bleak here for ByuN. As Zoun wants another tank. Click is done, of course. Second tank up is gonna fall as well. And ByuN is just bleeding out too much. He has reinforcements on the way, but he's down to 1 tank left. The Immortal has right. He dives in. Goes to dive, takes down the tank, and there's almost nothing left here. GG gets called, and Zoun, he will take the series of 4-3, claiming the show match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. It was an intense back and forth. ByuN had a very strong start to the series with a 2-0 lead, and then of course Zoun was able to bring it all back. Just a really unfortunate way to end the series in a way with the scattered proxy. Again, ByuN from there, because he was behind, I would say is the correct move, the correct decision to go for an all-in. It's one of two things. Either you go for a 2-base all-in after being scattered, or after being shut down like that, or you cut corners and go for like a really fast third CC. Both is greedy, or I should say both is a risk. Both is very difficult to pull off, and it's just kind of the state of the game there after you are forced to cancel your racks, after your CC is delayed. Just a really rough position there for ByuN. At this level of play, you cannot just macro out of that like in a more standard fashion. That's not really a likely kind of outcome to pull off, and Zoun did shut him down. But we had some really fun games in the series. Again, just some really decisive play early on out of ByuN. Even at Neo Violet Square, we got to see these 2 maxed out armies face off. We had some crazy builds out of ByuN. I'm still reminded of El Dorado. El Dorado was insane. Seeing ByuN go for, going for the 3rd CC was crazy enough. He went for a 4th CC. Went for a ninja base on it was crazy. On El Dorado. Ay. So again, Zoun was able to punish him, able to shut him down. GG, well played. Zoun will claim the series. And again, if you haven't been watching StarCraft as of late, this isn't the biggest win that Zoun has had recently, actually. If you watch Elima League, you would know that Zoun, he actually defeated Clem last week. Clem, of course, being the best player in the world, the reigning world champion, and Zoun brought him down as well. Maybe I should have hyped Zoun up a little bit more at the start, but Zoun, I would say his strongest matchup is PvT. This is his strongest. His weakest, I would say, is PvZ. Like, his Protoss vs. Zerg is a little bit weaker, and he does struggle at times against players like Dark, against players like Shin, but against Terran players, mate, if you can defeat Clem, you can defeat anyone. You can defeat ByuN as well. Despite that, went to the ace match, did go all the way to the ace match. It was a back and forth. But again, Zoun has been playing and improving so much as of late. And I know that I've been saying that, like, oh, his PvZ is his weakest matchup. But even recently, what was the big result in, was it Little League Cup or Masters Coliseum? Where Zoun, he went to the ace match against Raynor, right? He went to the ace match in a best of 7, might I add. So even then, even there in that matchup, Zoun has been looking really good and really strong. If you're maybe watching for the first time and wondering who is Zoun, Zoun, he recently came back from the military. He recently came back, I want to say he came back in November. He returned in November of last year, and he has been practicing and improving real fast and real quick. He's been back for like 2 months. He's been back for 2 months, and he's been looking very impressive as of late, defeating players like Clem, like ByuN, going to the ace match against Raynor as well, defeating players like Shin as of late. Like, he's been looking very impressive here. I would say that he's still on the rise as well. I think that's what's most exciting to me about Zoun, is that it does feel like Zoun is still improving. Like, he's still improving, and he still hasn't like plateaued when it comes to his rate of improvement. So there's a lot of hype around Zoun. There's a lot of hype around Zoun and how well he has been performing as of late. And we'll see if he can catch up with players, you know, like Hero, for example. I would still say that, you know, Hero is on average still a stronger player, and you know, we saw that in the PvP as well. Hero versus Zoun, that was in the finals of Elite League. So we have seen that Hero still has the better of Zoun, at least in the mirror matchup. But yeah, it's been really cool to see Zoun getting better, Zoun improving, and we hope to see more of Zoun in the future. Do hope to see more. GG. GG, well played. As we are going to be wrapping up for now. And again, as I mentioned, like I was trying to line up the scheduling of this event leading into into Wadi TV, into the Wadi TV Monday. I was trying to line it up. I should have brought into more consideration as to the players that I'm casting. As Wadi TV Monday is in 1 hour and 30 minutes. Still plenty of time. Still plenty of time until the Wadi TV Monday. So it looks like we have an extended break. We have extended downtime here. Again, our next broadcast is going to be in 1.5 hours. Before I get into our schedule, big shout out to Team Little Fairy. They are a Chinese-based team. They do support a lot of players, and again, throughout 2024, they did actually cover and host a lot of tournaments like this as well. Like little show matches and invitationals they would host on a semi-regular basis last year, and it's great to see them continuing to invest and to host this event here in the beginning of 2025. So it's great to see them host and bring it back, and I'm sure this is the first of many. Shout out to Little Fairy as well for reaching out. They did reach out to us. They asked if we were free to cast one of these days, and yeah, we're more than happy to. We're always happy to cast. We're always happy to cast. Always happy to cover some StarCraft. Our schedule's very busy, as you can imagine, and yeah, with that, GG, well played. Congratulations here to Zoun for claiming the series. And if you want to tune into more of the CranKy Ducklings, we have you covered here with our weekly schedule. Plenty of StarCraft going on. Earlier today, we did, of course, cover the OSC Championship. We just wrapped up lower bracket round 2, at least half of it. We just wrapped up with the Little Fairy Cup, not Little League Cup, with Little Fairy Cup. And again, at 9 p.m. KST, in an hour and a half, we're going to be live here with the Wadi TV Monday, featuring players like Zoun, like ByuN, Max, Clem, Hero, Dark, Shin, and many others. It is a weekly tournament every single week, and because of the time zone, it is actually a decent time here for some of the European players and the Koreans as well. So we very often get to see the Europeans and Koreans clash here in Wadi TV Monday. Meanwhile, we're going to be back tomorrow with the Pigasaur Monday. We have Pigasaur Monday on Tuesday. We have the second half of the broadcast for the OSC Championship. We have Code for Giants Cup on Wednesday. We have today's Stroll Tussle. We have a back-to-back broadcast of Alima League. Alima League, it is the Winter Finals. It is a 2-day event. So Friday and Saturday, we have Alima League. We have the Kung Fu Cup, Warcraft 3 Evolution. We have Master Swan Open, Sparkling Tuna Cup, and the Pondcast as well. So plenty of content, plenty of casting going on. You may be wondering, hold up, you always say you cast twice a day every single day. Why do we have some empty slots here on Sunday and on Wednesday? Well, on Sunday, we won't be casting in the morning, but we will be working nonetheless. If you're curious, the Euthermal 2v2 tournament, there's a Euthermal, he started a monthly circuit of 2v2 tournaments, and that is going to be Sunday morning or Saturday evening, depending on where you are in the world. Is going to be in that time slot, and we won't be casting, but we will be adminning. We did the same thing last month as well. So shout out to Euthermal again, you know, close friends, you know, near and dear to our heart. Euthermal, he did reach out and he did request help from the CranKy Ducklings. So myself and Kuro, we are going to be adminning that event, working alongside Euthermal to make sure everything runs smoothly. And that also means that we won't be able to cast it, unfortunately, but we do get the replays, and we will have a replay cast of that 2v2 tournament in a couple of days after the fact. But for that Sunday, we are going to be hard at work making sure that everything is running as smooth as possible, adminning and working behind the scenes. But that's why that time slot is empty. So we are still working on StarCraft, just not casting. So do apologize if you're looking to catch some more CranKy Ducklings on Sunday, only one cast. Likewise, on Wednesday, we did want to try to open things up coming into February. Again, January was so intense, casting 2 or sometimes 3 times a day, every single day. Coming into February, we do want to leave some free time open. That's going to be on Wednesdays. Wednesday afternoons is going to be open for some personal streams. We're not going to be live on the CranKy Ducklings. I'm going to be live on my own personal channel on light_VIP. Whether it's with laddering, whether it's with playing Final Fantasy or some other games, that's going to be there on Wednesday afternoons. So still going to be live, still going to be streaming, but not going to be casting twice on Wednesday, just once. At least for now. At least for now. Aye. So yeah, so at least we'll have like a little bit of a break at some point in the week. I appreciate it. Because as you can imagine, with a schedule like this, I cast every day, multiple times a day, and that's all I do. I just cast, I eat, I sleep. That's all I do. That's all we did for January, for December, for November, for October. Like, it's non-stop casting, and it would be nice if I had some, a bit of free time to do other things. In general, coming into 2025, I do want some free time to, just work on myself, hit the gym, go outside. Going outside would be nice instead of just non-stop casting. We'll see. So the New Year's resolution, if you will. Still has yet to do so. Just because, again, January was so busy, and February is looking to be busy as well, actually. But it'll be fine. So yeah, if you enjoyed the cast, if you enjoyed the coverage, if you want to watch some more CranKy Ducklings, then do check us out on all the social medias, !socials in the chat. And again, if you cannot watch some of this live, and if you're interested, whether it's Alima League, whether it's Sparkling Tuna Cup, OSC, Code for Giants Cup, if you see something that you like but you can't watch it live, then do check out our YouTube channel. Check us out on YouTube, check us out on Twitch. Our VODs are uploaded on a daily basis. Plenty of content, plenty of VODs on YouTube, and we're also live every single day as well. Go outside? I know, crazy. You gotta be one of those healthy people. Not yet. The plan is I want to be a little bit healthier, but we'll see. I miss Live VIP's red Hawaiian t-shirts. Yeah, they'll come back. Don't worry, they'll come back. What is KSL? Yes, Korean time. Yes. KST is Korean Standard Time. The reason why we use KST is because there's no daylight savings. And also because it's a really close time zone to my time zone. If you're curious, where is Light? Light is in Australia. I am 2 hours ahead of Korea. 2 hours ahead. So Water TV Monday is at 9 p.m. KST. Here it's going to be 11 p.m. AEST. But yeah, KST is just a constant because there's no daylight savings. So just a little bit easier to keep it like that. And a lot of people in StarCraft, they already just kind of like, adjust themselves and recognize just their own time zone compared to KST. So that's what we use for the schedule. Graphics are really good, but Quest sucks. True. Where does Light live? Australia, papi, Australia. Just research combat shields and you're 10 HP healthier. True. So yeah, we'll see. Coming into February, might have some more free time to ourselves. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. I guess I will bring the stream down. Technically, I could leave it online for an hour and a half, but it'll be fine. We'll take the stream down for now. And again, be back here on this channel in 1.5 hours. I'm gonna go get some food. I'm gonna go get hydrated, make some tea, and get ready for a night of StarCraft for the 3rd broadcast of the day for the Wardy TV Monday. You're an animal, baby. I'm casting 3 times today. Like, it's time to smooge on the ladder, baby. Let's go. Oh my god, mate, I haven't laddered in like a month. Hold on, when was my last ladder session? I haven't laddered in 21 days. Jeez, I want a ladder. I do want a ladder one of these days. Do I have any free time in my schedule? Let's see. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe. Maybe. Wednesday. I mean, Wednesday, right? That's the point of Wednesday, right? That's the point of Wednesday is Wednesday is a little bit more open, a little bit more free. So the hope is I can stream on Wednesday. I can stream, I can ladder on Wednesday. That's the hope. That's the hope. That'll be when I can ladder again. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Your body's ready for the tick. Oh no, oh no. Stay away, stay away. I'm gonna hit the ladder and the first opponent's gonna be like Fu Manchu or something. Oh god. But yeah, if you're curious about myself, exclamation mark light in the chat. I do try to stream on a regular basis. Basically, if I'm not live here on the channel on the CranKy Ducklings, then I'll be live on my Twitch channel. So one or the other, and that's where I ladder. That's where I play other games like Final Fantasy or some other, you know, games to just like decompress and take a break from things. So if you're interested, you can follow me there. Show us your ladder, Smurge. Oh no. But yeah, with that, we're going to be heading off. We're going to be heading off for the time being. We're going to be back in an hour and a half. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. When it comes to the next Fairy Cup show match, when the next invitational, I don't know. I don't know when the next one would be. But I'm sure we'll be notified at some point, and potentially we'll be able to cast it again. I don't know if this is going to be like a monthly event or like a weekly event or a bi-weekly event. We'll let you know. We'll let you know when is the next Fairy Cup. Otherwise, big shout out to Little Fairy, and we'll see you guys later on tonight for some more StarCraft action. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. Look after yourselves. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.